Okay, the topic today is subtracting integer rules. So the rules for subtracting integers. Again, this is going to be somewhat of an intro, and then you're going to learn the two different ways that you can do this using a number line or the chip model. So go ahead, you want to title your page, you want to write down, I can subtract positive and negative integers. Don't forget to go back to the table of contents and write down exactly the page numbers. It should be the next one up here. My page numbers are pages 22 and 23. So don't forget to write that down. Again, include the date. Going back, there are two different things you have to consider when subtracting integers. And that is, do they have the same signs or do they have different signs? The nice thing about this is that the rules for same signs and different signs are the same. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So you should have been given something like this. You were supposed to cut on the dotted lines again and then fold on the solid lines. So you should have something like this. Again, I encourage you to take your notes before you actually glue it into your notebook. I'm going to go ahead and glue mine in because I've taken the notes already so that it's easier for me to talk about it. So you're just going to glue this right in. Okay, and then you can come back and use this as a reference. So, same signs and different signs. Yay, they have the same rules. Makes it so nice. So it doesn't matter if you're adding two positives, if you're adding two if you're subtracting two positives, if you're subtracting two negatives, if you are subtracting a positive and a negative, or you're subtracting a negative and a positive. So it does not matter what you're actually doing, you're going to follow the same rules. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to keep the first term the same. So no matter what you start with, you're going to keep that number the same. So for example 1, I kept this 3. Example 2, I kept this negative 4. I kept this negative 5. I kept that positive 7. The second rule is just to change the addition sign to subtraction sign. So I change this from subtraction to addition each time. And then you're going to change the second sign of the number. So if it's positive, you're going to make it negative. If it's negative, you're going to make it positive. So the way I wrote this out would be to keep the first term, change from subtraction to addition, and then you're going to do the opposite of the second term. So keep, change, opposite is kind of what you're going to memorize in order to subtract any set of integers you might have. So in this first one, we kept 3 the same. We changed from subtraction to addition, and then positive 7 became negative 7. So then once I have an addition form, I can just follow the rules for addition, okay, for each one. You should know those rules at this point, or you should be able to use either the chip model or the number line model, any of the three that you want to use in order to find the sum once you've changed from subtraction to addition. So I'm going to let you look at these examples, kind of see if you can use a number line or a chip model or the algorithm to come up with the same answers that I have here. If you need to go back and review the addition rules, that's why we have this notebook. You can do that. Feel free to do that as you try to work forward. Down at the bottom, we just wrote out some words that indicate subtraction or that indicate like a negative number is being used. So we have less or less than. We have minus, we have decrease. Like if you decrease your test scores, that means they're going down, or you decrease by something. We have difference, reduce, lost, left. If it fell, like the temperature fell 25 degrees, or if it dropped 25 degrees, again, that's indicating negative or that we're subtracting. We have a change, diminished, fewer. If you move down on a vertical number line or you move left on a horizontal number line, those are both indicating subtraction or negative. And then if you have a withdrawal of money, so say I withdraw $25 from my bank account, that means I'm taking money out, which indicates subtraction. And then if you're thinking about football, a loss of yardage, if the quarterback gets sacked 10 yards, that means you're losing 10 yards toward the goal okay, the goal line or wherever you're trying to go. So go ahead again. If you think of any other words along the way, you want to make sure you add those to our list that we have going here. On the flip side of your notebook, you have the videos. So you're going to go back in Edmodo and you're going to find subtracting integers using chip model for students. Some of the videos say for teachers. That's not what you want to use. You want to use the ones that are for students. They should be pretty easy. They're under the rational numbers folder. So you want to make sure that you're going in, finding rational numbers folder, and then finding these two different videos. You're going to take some notes. The chip model is sometimes difficult for students, so if you need my help, feel free, or if you want to work with a partner, do that. And then you're just going to work through these and jot down some ideas of some things that you can remember to help you remember those two different models.